Welcome to this next circuit, y'all. We have two movements, great hip opener exercises. Wow, I love both of these. This is going to be a very deep stretch, and we're going to be holding each position for a prolonged period of time. So get ready, brace yourself in the best way possible. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's actually going to be a really good time feeling your hip mobility for these prolonged times at which we're holding the stretches. First movement's going to be half kneeling, quad hip flexor stretch, so stretching out the front side, especially this hip flexor here. If we sit all the time, if we work an office job, I'm sure we may have some hip tightness or some lower back tightness. Very interesting, I'll keep it short. This hip flexor actually wraps around our pelvis, our hip bone, and goes into the lower back. So if you ever have any lower back tightness, it may be because you actually tighten your hips. A lot of times, me included, the more I stretch my hips, the less lower back tightness and pain that I have. So this is a great stretch. We're going to be holding each position, meaning each leg, for 60 seconds. And we're just going to be moving around, kind of feeling out our hip flexors. And then we're going to move into what I call a Bretzel 2.0. Wow, this is another deep one that is mainly stretching out the outside of the leg. So glute medius, glute minimus, also going into a little bit lateral calf and lateral hamstring. This is going to be 3 positions, and we're going to get 3 breaths in each position, each leg. So like I said, both of these holding for prolonged periods of time and going through it 2 times each stretch. So first one, half kneeling, quad hip flexor move around. I'm on both knees, so I'm in the tall kneeling position. So I'm going to get in half kneeling, and all I'm doing now, this would be a normal quad hip flexor position stretch. Maybe I get a reach. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to push my hips forward, so I'm really lengthening this front leg. Notice how if you look at my back, it's still a straight line from my shoulder to my knee, meaning it's at an angle, but it's straight, so I'm not arching. I don't want to be arching my back. I don't want to be rounding too far either. So what I'm going to do now is just bring both hands to the ground, start your timer, and you're kind of just hanging out for 60 seconds. So really finding out how deep of a stretch you can get into. Maybe you can push your hips forward even more. Really increase that stretch. You can kind of go side to side with your hips. You can go forward and back a little bit. You can get some circles. Just moving around, having fun with it, seeing if you find a spot. Maybe, oh, okay, if I go this way, I feel it really deep in there. Just finding out, playing with your body, holding for 60 seconds each leg. Then we're going to move into Bretzel 2.0. So stay with me. It has 3 positions, 3 breaths in each position. Now, the breath is extremely important in this stretch, as the mobility and the type of hold, the type of stretch really relies on your breathing pattern and how deep you can get into it. So we'll go step by step. I'm going to show it from this angle first. So what I'm going to do here, I'm getting my knees at, you could call it a shin box stretch or a lightning bolt position, meaning both knees are at 90 degrees. And what I want to think about, in this case, my right leg, my pocket is facing the wall in front of me. That's going to be the way that I'm ultimately facing. So I'm not going to be facing the camera. So I turn my shoulders almost to where if I look at the top of my kneecap, I'm not going where my toes are pointing, I'm going where my shoelaces are pointing, this way. Top of my kneecap, shoelaces, whatever you need to think about. I like to put my hands right next to my pocket, so mentioning the pocket again. First, we're going to press the ground away. I'm getting a torso rotation stretch here. Inhale through the nose. As I exhale, I almost want to turn a little bit more with each exhale. To add in some more context, for this stretch, what I really enjoy doing, what works best, what seems to work best is inhale for 4 count, hold for 4 count, exhale for 4 count. So this is what it would look like. Inhale, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, in the exhale, 3, 2, 1. That's where I increase the stretch. So I'm going to get 3 there. Now, what I do, I've gotten the stretch of my torso. I'm going to bring this inside hand. So in this case, my right leg is forward. If it's opposite, if your left leg is forward, then you're going to go opposite of what I'm doing. So my left hand, I'm going to bring my knuckles on the ground. All I'm doing now is putting my right hand palm to palm. And what I'm doing, I'm pressing through both hands. Usually it feels better to press through this hand since my palm is on the ground rather than pressing into my wrist. I'm just going to press the ground away. Now what this does, this activates stability in my shoulders to add some stability into it so I can get more hip mobility. If this is uncomfortable for your wrist, then just keep your hands how they were before, meaning both palms on the ground. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go towards the camera. So we got the rotations. I'm going to inhale for 4, hold for 4 as I bring it down, and then exhale for 4 once I've held for 4. So what I'm doing, I'm bringing my inside shoulder towards this knee, towards the ground. Inhale for 4. Once I reach my point, I'm at my stopping point. Inhale, hold for 4, exhale for 4, more into it. So think each time I reach, okay, maybe this is as far as I can go. I'm going to inhale for 4, hold for 4. Usually when you exhale for 4, you go quite a bit deeper. I'm sure you're going to be quite surprised actually how much deeper you go as you exhale. Last position. So we've done the first 2. We've done the torso rotation. We've done stacking the wrist or not, and then bringing that inside shoulder towards the ground, towards that knee. Now last one, I'm going to change the angle. So you're staying in the same position. I'm going to show you from the front angle. So both knees bent, I'm above this pocket. I'm going to show the wrist stacked variation. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kick my foot out to a lateral hamstring stretch position. So you can see my toes are facing where my chest is facing, where my fingers and I'm looking at the camera is facing. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and get into the stretch. Let's say this is my stopping point. I already feel some mobility work needing to be done. I'm going to inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale. I'm not exaggerating on the more stretch I'm getting. That was my end point. Now this is my end point. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Wow, I'm feeling this stretch a lot in the outside of my calf, outside of my hamstring. So that was 2, so I'll do one more of that 4-second hold, 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale. Breathing is extremely important. If you don't know by now, you're going to feel it in this circuit. Control your breath, then you control the stretch. You guys are awesome, so make this stretch awesome. I believe in you. These are great stretches. Have fun with it. It's really fun to see how much your breath, not only just your breath, but just you moving can increase your mobility and increase flexibility and ultimate good feeling in your muscle. You guys are awesome. Like I said, I'll see you in the next time or next circuit.